Configuring a task template, these are to-do items that can be added to your workflow. So to configure a task template, go to Content, Task Templates, and here you'll see a list of tracker and tenant provided tasks. So these are basically to-dos that can be added to your workflow. You'll see again that you can filter by a type of template. You can sort it by the creator. You can see whether they're individual. They're all going to be individual and process because these are for workflows. The name of the template, and then whether it's visible or not visible. If it's not visible, it's not available to add to your workflow. You can also click the Hide Tracker Created Templates, and you could see the different templates that the tenancy has created. Over to the right, you'll be able to edit your task template or delete it if it hasn't been used. And as far as the tracker ones, you can only make them not visible or visible. Now, to create your own one, you would click on the plus sign here in the upper right-hand corner where it says Add Task Template. You will make it visible. You'll give it a name. We'll make it individual process. If you choose organization process, this would only be visible when you're creating a workflow for an organization. We'll give it a description. Normally I just use the same verbiage as the name of it. Critical. A critical task template means that this template will appear at the top of the list of all the other tasks. So it'll put a little red flag next to it, meaning that this is a high priority task. Publish means that you want the client to see your task. Most clients don't want their clients to see the task, but you can publish it and then give it a description that's more meaningful to the foreign national or the HR contact. Is it a required task, meaning you have to do this task all the time for this case? Is it optional but presumed, meaning that this will appear with a checkbox and the checkbox is checked, meaning maybe 90% of the time you have to do this task, but there's 10% of the time you don't, so you want to be able to uncheck that task. Optional not presumed means that maybe you only do this task 10% of the time, and 90% of the time you don't do this task. So the checkbox will appear and it will not be checked. I'm going to use one that's optional but presumed. How many days until due? So this how many days until due is when you check the step off. So if I check the step off and I put 3 in here, that means this task needs to be completed within 3 days of checking the step off. What type of task is it? I'm going to call it a send because I'm going to send an email to the client. This is just an easy way to determine what type of task you're actually creating. When I go to next, we will now have to select a task manager. A task manager is going to be the person that this task will get assigned to. So I want to assign this task to a paralegal, and they have to be the primary paralegal. And then maybe I want the attorney to be a task manager as well, meaning when I add this task to the individual, the primary paralegal is going to receive this task and the attorney is going to receive this task. Basically, it's a to-do. When I click next, I can also send an email reminder. So the task is just going to appear in my task widget, but I can also send an email that reminds me when this task is due. So maybe I want to send it to an assistant. It doesn't necessarily have to go to the two task managers. It could actually go to somebody else. So I want to send a reminder one day before this reminder is due. And maybe I want to send another reminder to the same person, maybe 3 days before it's due. Or maybe I want to send it to the attorney 3 days before it's due. We're going to go ahead and send it 1 day before to the assistant and 3 days before to the consultant. And then I can go ahead and click save. Once I click save, this is now a task template that's available for us to add to our workflow.